Hello and welcome back to another episode of Casey's Garage. Today we're going to use this new OBDII scanner tool that I ordered off Amazon. It's the BlueDriver. It was a recommended product by Uberman, I believe. I saw in one of his videos, so I thought I'd give it a try. It will read out your engine codes as well as your ABS codes or airbag codes. So I'm going to use it to do a scan on the car and make sure that all the sensors and everything work before I take out the airbag modular and send it off to have it reprogrammed. So I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the box here in just a minute. But before I do that, let me go ahead and show you the fenders and the bumper that I ordered a while back, and I've had for probably about a week or two. There's been a little bit of downtime of getting some work done on the car, but they've just kind of been laying around. So let me go ahead and show you what we have. All right, so here is the new replacement bumper. It is a Kappa certified bumper, not painted. I need to order another bumper bracket, before we get it installed on the car. But we'll be doing that soon. Let me go ahead and show you the fenders. Alright, so here are the passenger fender. As you see, it's on the car, but it's not installed. It's got two bolts holding it in. I stuck them on the car simply just to store them, because I didn't have any room to put the big boxes in my garage. And then, of course, here's the driver's side fenders. Yeah, so once we get the bumper brackets in that hold the bumper and fenders together, we'll get that all installed on the car and see how it all fits. I'm sure we'll have to do a little aligning on the passenger corner where most of the impact was in the accident, because I'm sure things are going to be off just a little bit. But for now, we're going to go ahead and unbox the BlueDriver scanner tool and scan the engine out and see what we can find out, and possibly then get the modular out of there and get it set off. So. All right. Alright, so they gave us a nice little sticker with customer support on the back. And here is the actual device itself. It just plugs into the OBDII port, which on the Mustang it is right under the steering wheel, down by the kicker panel where your legs go. So we should be able to just plug this in, and then already have the app installed on the phone, so we should be able to just link this stuff up and do a readout. Alright guys, so here's the port right here, if you can see it. I'm going to go ahead and plug this reader out, and as you can see, as you plug it in, it gets power. Got a blue light. Alright, and now we just got to pair it to the phone. Alright guys, so I've got the key in the on position. Go ahead and load the BlueDriver app. Pretty easy to do. And let's see here. Let's scan for read codes. We'll click on that. And let's read trouble codes from all system modules. Let's do that. So right now it is scanning. It just takes a little time here. It's about 45% right now.
2,000 years later.
Alright guys, so here are the codes that we have. We have a powertrain control module code. And then we have a 3 restraint control module code. So let's see what that is. We'll just do a reset on everything and then see if it all comes back up again. Let's see, click on that. Of course, we got a crash detected code. We'll click on it and see if it says anything. Yeah, it just says crash detected. Of course, that's hard data, so we won't be able to reset that, as far as I know. Battery voltage low. Well, the car has been sitting for a while, so no surprise there. And then restraint system impact sensor fault. Impact sensor fault. So, of course, these codes could be, from the last time I started the car, the sensor was not plugged in. Of course, the crash code information we will not be able to get rid of until we reprogram the module. But everything else, let's just see what happens when we erase all this and then scan again. Tap to clear. Alright, well, everything is reset. So let's go ahead and turn the key off. Turn back on. Alright. And let's do another scan here. One interesting thing while we're waiting on this is at 50%. I did notice that the airbag light shut off. And maybe it's just because the car is not started yet. But interesting. And some other lights just went off. Of course, I don't have the car running right now, so. Alright, so let's see what we have now. We have one powertrain. Okay, one powertrain control module code and one restraint code. Okay, so click on this restraint code and see what it is. Yeah, so yeah, it's a crash day. I was gonna say there's no way that this BlueDriver, though it would be awesome if it could clear that code, but it looks like the crash sensor, which I was debating on replacing, it's functioning properly because through the system check it did pass. It did that the code went away, but we still have this powertrain control module code that came up, and so we'll have to kind of see what that's all about here, but it could be just because of the battery. Because it's the same, the top fix for is replace the alternator, which I'm pretty sure the alternator on this car is new. But this Mustang hasn't been started in quite a while, so I would not be surprised if the battery's just low. So, alright, well, let's just start it up and see what happens. And hopefully the airbag doesn't explode in my face. But if my research did me correctly, the system will be disabled until I get the airbag modular reset. So here we go. Alright, so I don't have a broken face, so that's always good. The airbag didn't come out. No airbag light though. Let me show you this. Though I'm sure it'll come back on any minute, but right now we have no lights except for the brake light because I have the e-brake engaged right now, but everything is looking pretty good. So I'm just going to let this run just for a little bit. Guys, so this is day 2 of this episode. This episode actually might be a compilation of a few days of work, simply because I'm waiting on parts and just kind of getting a little this and that jobs done. So, anyway, I noticed last night that when I was putting the car back in the garage after showing you the fenders and testing the new BlueDriver device out, that the coolant fan was not coming on for the engine. So the coolant started to boil and actually start coming out of the reservoir. So today I'm going to see if I can figure out why the fan's not kicking off. I have a bad fan. I know the relays should be good because I did switch out the relays and fuses, but we'll just kind of tackle this and see what we can figure out. So let me show you what we got. Alright, so I don't know if you'll be able to see this too well, but I have the negative lead on one pin. I got the positive lead on the other. There's actually 3 pins. I think one is for low speed and one's high speed. That's just a guess. So I have the positive on both of those, and then the negative on the other side. I'll go ahead and connect it up to the battery and hopefully not catch the car on fire. And I'm going to go ahead and connect the positive up first, and then I'm just going to touch the negative and see if I hear the fan kick on. And it did come on. Alright, good news. So the fan works, so the problem has to be, I'm pretty sure it's not a fuse or a relay. I'll double check them, but I've checked them before. Alright guys, so good news. I went ahead and just replaced all of the fuses that go to the fan, which I've done before, and I started up the car. I'm letting it run outside just a little bit in the heat, and everything's working, so that just made my day. Alright, so now we know the fan works. Not a whole lot to do until we get the bumper bracket in, but I'm going to go ahead and put these headlights on and just kind of see how they fit in the housing there where the cord support is we welded in. We got a little work to do. This side here is pushed down just about 1/8 of an inch or so, so it's close, but the one of the bolts is not lining up to get the headlight all the way in, so I'll have to work on that. But let's see if the headlights will turn on. Enough for the heck of it. Let's just hook the or hang the bumper up there. I'm not going to put any of the absorbent foam or anything in there because we're going to take this right back off. Okay, so I've got the battery disconnected. I'm going to go ahead and get the airbag control module taken out. Strangely enough, after we reset all the codes with that BlueDriver the other night, the airbag light has not come back on. I've started the car several times. I let it kind of run a little bit. It has not come back on, but of course, the crash data is still hard data that's saved in the modular. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the radio out and get the center instrument panel taken apart so we can get to the crash modular. Try to get the camera to get a decent angle here. Alright guys, so I'll show you the back here. There was 2 connectors on the bottom, and then there was 3 at the top we had to unplug. Okay, so now the radio, pretty easy. We just got 2 screws on each side. Alright guys, so here's the control modular. There is, I believe, just 3 or 4 nuts holding it down. So I'll take this 10mm socket, we'll go ahead and loosen those up. Okay, so now we just need to unplug it. There's that one. And there's that one. Okay, and this should just lift right up. There we go. So we'll send this into myairbags.com. That was a recommended website by Sam Crack, who builds a lot of these Copart cars, and then they claim they can reprogram just about any modular, and they also rebuild seat belts and all kinds of other safety restraint devices. So we'll send this off, have them reprogram it. That'll get the crash data erased, and then we'll get it, when we get it back, we'll get it installed back in the car. Well, how about before we call it a end to this episode, let's go ahead and get the stickers and the writing off of the front windshield and go ahead and give the car a quick bath, and then we'll call it a day.